And then for whatever reason, I did a recording with someone earlier. I don't really like when it jumps from like me to you. I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can switch it to where it's just
like side by side.
Yeah, you and I side by side, but I don't know exactly. Let me just Google it. Meeting record. No, it wasn't a feature as of 2 years ago. I think I know how to do it though. Oh, there it is. Adjust view. Open picture in picture, backgrounds and effects, full screen, adjust view, spotlight, sidebar, tiled. Tiles. I just need 2. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just going to do the dynamic one. Fuck it. Is what it is. Okay, cool. We're rolling on Gemini already. Sick. Okay, folks. So I've got Claylyn Tirrel here, host of the Salespreneur podcast, CEO of Mavs Growth and Fractional SDR, and wanted to have him on here just to kind of give his background and story of going from working as a full-time employee, working as a sales leader, to kind of starting his own thing, moving into the contract SDR and the fractional SDR space. Clay and I actually did a podcast together a little over a year ago, probably now. And I'll link down to that below as well. But Clay, tell us a little bit about yourself. What were you doing before joining the community?
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked to kind of share this. It's weird going in my mind thinking through kind of like the journey and stuff, but I've been in sales for almost 9 years. I started in door-to-door. Then I jumped into tech sales, joined a startup, SDR AE, led a team of AEs. And I went through like a couple like layoffs, and for me, like I just got like really heartbroken over that because I feel like when I'm into something, I get really committed. I put like my heart and energy into that, and so I feel like I kind of got heartbroken over that and was searching for like my next thing. I always wanted to start a business and like work for myself, but I didn't know how to do that. You know, you look at ETA buying in businesses, you look at real estate, you look at all like the hot things, but they all cost a lot of money. And so I started a podcast, Salespreneur Stories, to find salespeople who'd gone and turned into entrepreneurs. And so that was kind of the start of that journey. I've done over 40 episodes, and one of like the most impactful ones that was actually like with you, Hunter, just because I realized that there is a way to take a skill set that I've developed over the last 5 years and monetize it without working for a W-2 per se. Mm-hmm. And it's allowed me to like fund myself and open up other opportunities. So that's just like a little bit about my background.
Yeah. And guys, great podcast, by the way, super really like insightful episodes from people who started their careers as salespeople and have moved into this sort of journey of entrepreneurship. What made you ultimately decide that this was a route that you wanted to pursue?
Well, one, I feel like I was kind of forced into it, but secondly, so April 1st, I was let go from my full-time W-2.
Yeah.
And I was not going back to find another job.
Yeah.
And I just like for like the 9 months before that, I just kept thinking of, what you were doing. And I was like, geez, this is so great. Like right now I'm an account executive, sourcing, closing, doing all my own work. And it's just kind of consumes like my full like workload.
Yeah.
But it'd be so cool because like it's not that hard to go book 10 meetings for a client.
Yeah.
Like why don't I just go do that for 2 to 3 people and then find a way to outsource it? So I told myself that if I ever got let go, that's what I would do. And so that was kind of when it happened. Was back in April. I was really fortunate. I got thrown into a couple of referrals. And then we had a baby 2 months later. So I was kind of like took a little time off, but now I'm back at it.
And I think you joined the community, or I brought you into the community right around the time that you had either closed your first client, or it was like as you were getting ready to close Hosty. Tell us a little bit about just like kind of your results from an earnings perspective. What should people expect in terms of like the time frame from like if they were to start doing something like this to when they could land a client? One of the things you actually said in a text message to me that I thought was kind of funny that I've referenced a few times was you said, if you can land a job in a week, you can land a client. So just tell folks a little bit about like the amount of effort to expect when kind of going out on their own, and then kind of what value you feel like you've gotten from the community in that process.
Yeah, that's an interesting reference. And I actually took that from somebody else too, but
that's how it works, right?
Yeah, but as far as, landing a client, it very much is like landing a job, because, one, it's not on the market. If somebody's posting a job, they usually already like have people lined up. But with a client, you do have to sell yourself, and that's why it's important that you have good experience and that you have good references. So if you've done the job before and you can say, hey, look, I do 130, 150% of quota month over month, I can do the same for you. That's all you're doing is like you're just pitching yourself for a prospective client. And so that's kind of how I look at that. Referrals have been really big. So I think having a solid network and like becoming friendly with founders or VPs of sales and being into that community helps a lot, because like some of my best stuff, which I only have like a handful of clients, but has come from referrals.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, like you were really helpful in like figuring out my pricing and figuring out how to do that. Obviously, like it's a learning process, because when I initially landed them, I was going to do like fractional account executive work, and I was going to be closing. And then but then I got 2 weeks into it and realized how terrible that is, because it's basically like being an account executive. And so I transitioned. And then they actually ended up hiring a couple of AEs. So it was a really easy conversation. I just said, hey, you're pretty heavy on AEs right now. Why don't I just book meetings for them? That's how I did that one. And then I had another client sign up. We did it for like a month, and I was getting okay results, but like they didn't want to do a retainer. So I just let them go because they weren't paying enough. But,
and then you landed another one recently, but you're doing a little closing for them, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So yeah, I have another client that I cold outbounded, and it's crazy because like I literally, it's another restaurant tech company. A lot of my background's in restaurants, but yeah, I just like cold called one of the founders, said, hey, don't worry about calling me back. I'm going to shoot you an email. I shot him an email, and then like 2 hours later, I got an email from his co-founder, and he said, hey, like, let's talk, jump on a call. He said, hey, I've got a backload of inbound leads. I just need to call and close them. I launched him this week. I've already closed some deals, and that one's been going well. So I'm just doing that one in the morning. Nice. And that one's like, we're doing like a 2-month stint because he doesn't need somebody like for Q4, I guess.
So he says. Well, that one's interesting because like where I wouldn't recommend closing deals for people, or I wouldn't recommend people kind of get sucked down funnel too far. The interesting thing about that one was because he already had a bunch of inbound leads, and he kind of just needed those to be worked. So that makes sense. Go ahead.
The cool thing with that one though too is like it's a very identical ICP to my other client.
Yeah.
And
which is the benefit of being a contractor, fractional workers, that you can actually like end up finding multiple clients that are in the same industry or that are somewhat complementary to each other.
Yeah. So, I mean, like 2 months down the road, I could call that same person back and say, hey, we got another service for you. You want to check it out?
Yeah.
And so also, yeah, I mean, and yeah, like, I don't know if I would do this one again, but I just needed like some more revenue under my belt.
What are you're getting paid monthly for that one too, right? You're getting a retainer.
Yeah. So
What's
that
your
one's like that
what's your
one's 2,500.
Okay, so your total
So I'll be
MR
around 10K a month.
Okay, great. Cool.
So I have a couple other deals in orbit right now
Yeah.
that I'm trying to land for next month, but I'm mostly working those through referrals really hard.
Yeah.
So
Good. Yeah, referrals are a huge part of the game. Like my biggest client right now came from a referral from someone who was on my team, like an SDR team from an agency like 4 years prior. And I got a referral from her. So it's just like, you just never know where people are going to come from. The longer you stay in an industry doing something, the more people start to know you as an expert in that industry. So last question here for you, last two questions. How likely would you be to recommend the Super SDR community to someone who wants to break into the contract SDR, fractional SDR space, and really level up their ability to position themselves in the marketplace? Why should someone join, or would you recommend they join?
Yeah, I mean, I've recommended it to a lot of people. I've posted a lot about it on social. I think for me, I think it kind of depends though. Like I wouldn't recommend it for someone that's been an SDR for 6 months because, dude, you gotta go cut your teeth.
Yeah.
But and honestly, like even maybe like an experienced SDR, I feel like the opportunity is for account executives or SDRs have been doing it for a while that have like crushed quota, because those are the people that can likely do this the best.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as like the community, what I get the most value out of is just seeing other people that are doing the same thing because entrepreneurship is a very lonely thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, going out and making 50 to 150 cold calls a day just on your own, like in your spare bedroom,
Yeah.
is like a very hard thing.
Yeah.
But like I love it when the channel lights up and it's like, cool, I got a set this morning, or there's like a motivational post about somebody landing a client, all of
Yeah.
that stuff. Like that just fires me up because I know that there's other people
Winning.
somewhere else in the country winning. Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. What do you think I could do to make the community, the program, the culture better, more valuable for students in the future?
The first thing that comes to mind is having just like more consistency around posting on the wins in the channel, which I feel like that's picked up a little bit, but man, I feel like if it was just like every day, almost like a little leaderboard of, and it doesn't have to be like who's got like the biggest client. It's just, hey, who's getting sets on the board, who's getting book meetings, right? So I feel like that would be the most valuable.
So a lot of activity in the wins channel, just keeping the activity high, making sure people are posting, which definitely have tried to do a better job of that here as of late. A lot of it is just giving people reasons to want to post because like we're all winning every day, right? And so like one of the things I started doing lately was giving away the mobile numbers to people who are the most active in the community, right? Just kind of incentivizing people to put their wins in. That's great feedback. We'll definitely make sure that I post my wins as they come, because I even get a little lazy on it sometimes too, where it's like, oh, I booked a meeting, but I don't go like, I think I just booked one yesterday and go post in the community. And so, no, great feedback, Clay. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the feedback that you give folks in the community. And I know a lot of people have actually listened to the podcast that you and I did, which is super cool to see. Like Patrick went and listened to it. I'm pretty sure Daniel did. And so keep crushing it on the podcast front as well. And some cool stuff to come there too, guys.
Cool.
All right. See you later. Let me go ahead and if I can figure out how to end the recording.
I was going to say, we should have just